Folks, welcome to today's podcast. I got my buddy Cody Kelley here. Cody, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Good to be here.
All right, let's talk a little bit about planting food plots. You know, we just came out with a new project with y'all, but, you know, that's the key to growing big deer is basically the food you're going to put in the ground.
And some people, of course, it intimidates a lot. You know, well, I don't have 50 acres of food plots.
Don't need it.
You don't need it. It doesn't, you know, you can have a small quarter acre on a 3 acre block of woods and you got 1/4 of an acre. Well, still, that's where the deer want to be. So.
Exactly. Well, let's talk a little bit about our project that we came out with Backwoods Attraction, because we were really kind of thinking of the hunters and bringing in big deer, but we're also thinking about all the places that you want to plant.
That's right. And the best thing with the Buckmasters blends, of course, me and you talked about it, and then Scott, and we've talked to, you know, pretty much everybody's been on this project. But with the line that you, on the Buckmasters, like start with the timber. That's the guy we just talked about.
Yeah.
It's a 1/4 of an acre, and it's, you know, not much sunlight. That's the #1 question. Everybody always says, what do you have that'll grow good in the shade?
Right.
And it's tough. You got to really think into what seeds can do that. Your clovers, your brassicas, those are the type seeds that can grow in the shade. And so that's basically this guy. It's a small food plot, hidden, doesn't get a lot of sunlight, but he wants to plant a solid blend that can perform.
Could even do that with an ATV. Doesn't need a big tractor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're not trying to. You don't have to disc it all. I mean, it's. I wouldn't say a no-till, but it's right there. Low maintenance.
Gotcha.
Is basically the way I term it. And then on your APG, you know, this one is kind of, edge and APG would be very similar. But I would say with the APG that you're looking at a lot, I mean, that's just a solid choice for a hunter. You know, you just want a good food plot. You're not worried about benefits all year. You're just looking at the food plot to go in and have best results just for the fall.
Gotcha.
And that's this blend. It's got big seeds, wheat, oats, and then, you know, it's right there in that low maintenance. I mean, disc it under, seed it, broadcast, however you want to do it, and then it's low maintenance from there. And then with the edge, now that's your premium blend. I mean, you're looking at
You're thinking of the all year round kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where edge comes in. You've got everything you need for the entire year. You've got your clovers in there you're going to plant it in the fall, and they're going to still be there for turkey season and into the summer. So you've got your brassicas, all your small seed, you've got big seed. That's your premium over the, you know, the top of the line seed.
Well, you know, there's a lot to it. And, you know, we've got a few tricks, you know, especially here in Alabama. I mean, we've been planting stuff for years, and the deer are eating it up before we can hunt it.
That's right.
So we tried the old electric fence deal, and I know y'all are getting ready to send us some forage beans, and we're going to plant those, but I still got to put the electric fence up.
To let them get high enough.
And if you do that, but you got to watch the fence. You just can't put it up there and not check it. We come back and check it every few days, because a lot of those deer come into it, and then they'll tear it all up, and then they all bail in there.
You're one night from it not working to gone.
And we're doing it about 4 foot tall, about 4 strands, and then, you know, and it's all hot wired right there. And then once we get the beans up on the forage, we're going to let them down and let the deer get in it.
That's right.
Now then we're planting corn, doing the same thing on the corn, and keeping it till January when we like to hunt. And then we're doing regular beans.
How many acres are you doing?
Well, we got about 4 acres of corn and about 2 or 3 acres of regular soybeans. Okay, and then we're planting all our food plots with edge and all that. But it's just a trick we've learned, because I was planting beans for years, and I thought it was the drought. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going, God, we can't grow it. No, they were coming up. They were nipping it off before it could get up.
That's right.
So we said, all right, we'll fix them. And I tell you, just going to your co-op and getting your electric, you know, fence set up. It's just the little plastic strands right there. Your poles, and you can use it each year. You got a little investment the first year of buying your batteries and all that. But we watched it, and we thought, you know, I remember it was January 15th. We'd had the fence up around the little bean plot. We had about 3 or 4 acres of beans. I said, oh, it'll take them 2 or 3 days. We're going to take it down. Man, it was like they were waiting. We took that thing down, and those deer were literally in that patch that first afternoon.
You said it was, but nothing would be 30 deer out there.
There was 30 deer, and they ate every bean from January 15th to the end of January. That was that quick. And that just proved a great point, is that you let them in there, they're going to eat up all your stuff before you get a chance to hunt them.
Exactly.
So it's just using your head. But we're excited about the new products right there. But what you've thought about it in your formulas is the key.
Yeah, it is. And the whole line from you know, bottom to the top, if you will. I mean, they're all quality. So it's going to be fun. It's been a fun project for all of us.
Well, you're only as good as your food plot.
That's right.
And a lot of folks need to pay attention to get a soil sample. A lot of folks, oh man, it's fine.
That's right.
The soil sample to me has always been the key.
Exactly.
How much fertilizer, how much lime. If you don't have that, it doesn't work. We planted a field 2 or 3 times this year, It was just down the swamp. It never would come up.
That's
so
right.
we got some issues then. We just didn't have time to take a soil sample.
That's the best thing about turkey season ending. You know,
Yeah.
you have about 2 days of withdrawals, and you're like, man, what am I going to do? And that's when you start thinking about all this.
Sure.
And then you're like, man, at all the work I got to do. And then you can finally forget about turkey season.
But where a lot of hunters mess up, they're going to spend, a lot of money. You got your tractor, we got a Yamaha tractor, we got the Furminator, we got everything lined up. But if you don't do your soil sample,
That's
you have
right.
spent a lot of money and wasted a lot of time. And you're watching a piece of ground that nothing's coming up.
That's right.
And it's not the seed's fault. It's not the tractor's fault. You know what I'm saying?
Fertilizer, lime, all that
It's
kind
your
of stuff.
fault
Exactly.
that you didn't see what was in the ground right there. And
Yep.
we did it for years and couldn't understand. Well, that's why we got Auburn University over here. We send them a soil sample and they say, hey, put X amount of lime, X amount of fertilizer, then you're ready.
That's
that
right.
has the best chance to work.
Totally change the results
Yeah.
of it.
So pay attention, do your soil samples, and put your electric fences up if you need them, and put in Buckmasters Edge.
Better get to work. You got a lot of work to do.
Appreciate you being on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, folks, that does it for today's podcast. Cody Kelley right here.